Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Eat, Pray, Love, I think that sold about 12 million copies, and other best-selling books, reflected on grief after losing the love of her life. Grief is a force of energy that cannot be controlled or predicted, Elizabeth said, as she reflected in the wake of losing the love of her life. Grief does not obey your plans or your wishes. Grief will not do whatever it wants. Grief will do whatever it wants to you, whenever it wants to. In that regard, grief has a lot in common with love. In writing for an article in the Marginalia, Marina Popov muses, like love, grief swells into an entire inner universe that comes to color the whole of the outside world. Like love, the rapturous raw material for most of the songs and poems and paintings our species has produced, grief lives itself through grieving and can't but speak its truth. Unlike love, our culture meets the voice of grief with an alloy of disquiet and denial. It's uncomfortable. We want to make the sadness go away, to lift a sorrowing heart out of its sorrow immediately. Often, we mistake for personal failure our inability to solve another's grief, or mistake for the failure, the inability for their failure, the inability to snap out of it on the timeline of our wishes. I know everyone's nodding at this. I know. Such true words, though. This came into stark personal focus for our family when our daughter, Emily, suddenly passed away in 2011 at age 21. It became painfully clear also that only a few of our friends and family were aware of how to address us about our loss in a way that was helpful to us. One reason I did this slideshow today and talk. Well, what can help? Again, speaking from experience, I can say that advice from people who have experienced similar losses helps immensely. That is why Hospice of Santa Barbara is such an extraordinary resource here in Santa Barbara. When you've experienced such a loss, you can call them at 805-563-8820, and there's the website, hospiceofsb.org. You describe your loss to them, and they will arrange for an appointment with a qualified grief counselor. And eventually, if desired by you, a group sessions with people who have experienced a similar loss. We met with a group who 100% have lost adult children. They have many groups. The cost is free. Free. Hospice is supported by donations from individuals and county and city donations, 100%. It's amazing. It just, it just sounds unbelievable. It's all true. Our experience at Hospice of Santa Barbara and legacy donation we made was featured in their 2023 annual report. That is our beautiful daughter, Emily, my lovely wife, and myself. Can't see it well, but Emily had Terry's green eyes. Very happy to support this organization. I'll pause here briefly if you'd like to read that. So, what can we do to help? Each other in sorrow. With psychologist Megan Devine, author of It's Okay That You're Not Okay, Meeting Grief and Loss in a Culture That Doesn't Understand. Watched her young, healthy partner drown, and the senseless loss suspended her world. As it slowly regained the motive force of life, she set out to redirect her professional experience studying emotional intelligence and resilience towards better understanding the confounding, all-consuming process of grief, the process by which, as Abraham Lincoln wrote in his immensely insightful letter of consolation to a bereaved friend, the wife of a good friend. The agony of loss is slowly transmuted into a sad, sweet feeling in your heart of a purer and holier sort that you have known before. A transmutation in which the skillful, loving support can make a world of difference. Support, very different, though, from what we instinctively imagine helps. How to help? This is going to be easier than you thought. So, how do you speak to someone in deep grief in a helpful way? In this brief video about what Megan Devine found will help you very simply, and I hope the sound plays, Roxy. Let me know if it does not.
So what do we do about all the pain we see in the world? All the pain we feel in our own lives? And why does it seem like our best efforts to help somebody feel better always backfire? I've been studying intense grief and loss, baby death, violent crimes, accidents, suicides, and natural disasters. And I've learned something really interesting. Cheering people up, telling them to be strong and persevere, helping them move on, it doesn't actually work. It's kind of a puzzle. It seems counterintuitive, but the way to help someone feel better is to let them be in pain. This is true for those giant losses and the ordinary, everyday ones. Educator Parker Palmer writes, "The human soul doesn't want to be advised or fixed or saved. It simply wants to be witnessed, exactly as it is." He's talking about acknowledgement here. Acknowledgement is this really amazing multi-tool. It makes things better even when they can't be made right. For example, somebody's struggling. Their baby died, or there's been a bad accident, or their mom got sick, and they're just sad. It's way more helpful to join them in their pain than it is to cheer them up, but here's what we tend to do instead. "You have 2 other children, you need to find joy in them." Or, "You know what you need? You just need to go out dancing and shake it off." Or, "I felt really sad once. Did you try acupuncture?" We're not really sure what to do with someone's pain, so we do what we've been taught. We look on the bright side. We try to make people feel better. We give them advice. It's not like this is nefarious. I mean, we try to cheer people up because we think that's our job. We're not supposed to let people stay sad. The problem is, you can't heal somebody's pain by trying to take it away from them.
Right.
Now, acknowledgement does something different. When a giant hole opens up in someone's life, it's actually much more supportive to acknowledge that hole and let pain exist. It's actually a radical act to let things hurt. It goes against what we've been taught. In order to really support you, I have to acknowledge that things really are as bad as they feel to you. If I try to cheer you up, you end up defending yourself and your feelings. If I give you advice, you feel misunderstood instead of supported. And I don't get what I want either, because I wanted you to feel better. It's pretty rare that you could actually talk somebody out of their pain. Rarely does the admonishment to look on the bright side actually heal things for someone. It just makes them stop telling you about their pain. It's so tempting to try to make things better. When somebody shares something painful, it's much more helpful to say, "I'm sorry that's happening. Do you want to tell me about it?" To be able to say, "This hurts," without being talked out of it, that's what helps. Being heard helps. It seems too simple to be of use, but acknowledgement can be the best medicine we have. It makes things better, even when they can't be made right.
I could not have said that better myself. So, 2 simple steps. How to help. Recommend grief counseling. like Hospice of Santa Barbara. Do not try and fix someone in grief. Do not try and make them happy to cheer them up. The most helpful thing you can do is stand with them and acknowledge their sorrow. Thank you, Divine Spirit, for blessing us with understanding on how to speak to someone in grief in a helpful way.